Hello people of the internet who clicked on this video hoping to see some art. You're gonna see some art, okay? So in today's video I'm gonna recreate some classical paintings. I actually saw a challenge, art versus quarantine. I think that was the hashtag by the Getty Museum, and I thought when would be a more perfect time to do a video like this. So I actually started recreating paintings back in summer. I started off with The Girl with the Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer. I hope I'm pronouncing these names correctly because I'm very anal with pronunciations, so I really hope I pronounce them correctly, but if not, forgive me. I have to give that disclaimer because I'm gonna cringe my ass off while I'm editing. So the next one I did was, oh boy, this is my favorite one, is The Birth of Venus by Sandro Botticelli. So I did the portrait mode of that, and what I did was like pose like she posed, and then I held my hair like this, and I just did copy paste on Photoshop like the hair from here and here, and I got this result. So the next one I did was The Son of Man by René Magritte, and I wanted to do this androgynous recreation because I used a peach. Although it looks like a red apple, it's a peach, and I just wanted to keep it more feminine but also neutral. Still, you can tell that it's inspired by that classical painting. Boy. Then I made Van Gogh's self-portrait because I did it just for fun, but it turned out to be pretty creepy, so I just felt like sharing it. I look terrifying, like look at that fake ass beard, Jesus Christ. So the next one, I created Lady Lilith by Dante Gabriel Rossetti. The next one I made was The Two Fridas by Frida Kahlo. This one was like, I think one of the first paintings I wanted to recreate. Like, I love all her paintings, they look so surreal and so powerful. This one is like The Son of Man. I tried to make it more into my style, more dark, gothic. I skipped the blue background and I just had it plain black. Again, it's inspired by Frida Kahlo's painting, but it's not 100% the same. So the next painting I remade was Ophelia by John Everett Millais. This one is the most requested painting. You wanted me to you guys.
You ever had a dream that you
It's really hard to recreate pre-Raphaelite paintings, especially this one, and also The Lady of Shalott. This painting is, I think, the #1 most requested after Ophelia. But again, I cannot make that, but I hope I can. I don't want to add everything on Photoshop. I want to actually be there, or at least make it look like it with stuff I find around. I don't want it to look fake with too much Photoshop. Although I use a lot of Photoshop in my recreations, I still want to keep it simple and realistic. So yeah, these were the paintings I recreated like the past months, from I think August till March. So now, with the whole quarantine thing, I ask you guys to give me some recommendations on paintings to recreate. I wanted to recreate 5 of them and make one for each day of the week, and wanted to give myself the weekend off. Your requests were a lot. Most of you guys requested me to make the Mona Lisa, and I don't know, it's too saturated, so I decided not to do that one. Then a massive amount of people just requested pre-Raphaelite paintings, and although I love them, I wanted you to be more specific, so I had the liberty to go through a lot of my favorite pre-Raphaelite paintings and chose the ones that I actually wanted. I think I used all of your recommendations, and it was really nice finding out painters, eras, styles that I had no idea existed. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first one I wanted to make was actually a detail from a painting. The painting is called Apollo Pursuing Daphne, and it's by René Antoine Housset.
René Antoine Housset.
René Antoine Housset. So I didn't want to recreate the whole painting because that's too much. But I rather wanted to recreate the detail of her hand transforming like into a Daphne tree, like leaves and stuff coming out of it. I saw this picture on Pinterest a lot, and it was like aesthetic goals because I wish I could transform into a tree. So the good thing about this is that we have a bush with similar leaves in the garden, so I cut some leaves and set it up my background, which is here, as you can see, pretty bootleg, but it works. Trust me, my friends, it works. I decided to like tie the leaves on my fingers with these. So we have its leaf for its finger, and now I'm posing. This looks so cringy. What the fuck am I doing? But yeah, trust me, it looks pretty good. So I took some photos first with my hand without the leaves because I wanted to imitate the exact posture of her hand, and then I took a lot of photos with the leaves who kept falling apart and not being on the right angle. So at that point I got a bit bored and I was like, okay, this is what we're working with, like fine. And then I took more photos of her hand, and yeah, I decided to combine most of these. So I took every single leaf and put it in another hand because I found out that this looks more similar to the painting rather than the other one. That was pretty easy to make. The last thing I wanted to add was a bit of colors to make it look like the original coloring on the painting. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we got pretty close to that. So yeah, here is the original painting and the one I did. I think it was okay for a first try. So that's how I spent the day on Monday. Next one, painting I had to recreate for this day was The Day After by Edvard Munch. Edvard Munch. One was a suggestion by you guys, and I'm pretty glad you did request me to make this one because I didn't know this painting before, but it was really fun recreating it. Again, it was an indoors shoot, although I did not have a similar room like the one in the photo. I tried to go as close as I could. I started off with the easiest part, which was find some apple cider bottles, and I wore my grandma's nightgown and put like a bed seat on my waist to look like a dress. And here is me trying to adjust the camera. The lighting in this room is pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie, but I was trying to make the most of it since that was all I had. So the hardest part in this painting was to make the colors look like the original one, because I did not have to like, copy and paste stuff from other pictures to do a weird ass collage like the first one. So yeah, I was trying to make it a bit dark, a bit more of a sepia, these orangey brown things like Munch's paintings have. And yeah, it took a lot of time trying to erase details that weren't looking that good. I also added some makeup on my face, and it took me a lot of time to remove this like socket from the wall. So yeah, this photo is obviously not my favorite one. I did not have the exact same classic room with dim light, but this was the best I could do with only a tripod and myself trying to press the button and pose before the timer goes off. And yeah, this is the original painting and this is my recreation side by side. Yeah, again, you can see it's not the best, but I tried, okay? So on Wednesday and Thursday, PMS hit me really hard and I was sad all day. Like for both days I was sad. I was lying in my bed eating and watching series. So I didn't do shit and I felt pretty guilty for that. I also strained my neck pretty bad and so I wasn't able to move at all. So that was like a cheap excuse of not doing the last 3 photos I wanted to make. So then Friday came around and I was like, either you make all three of them today or you're a failure. I tried to stay productive that week to let myself create at least one every day, at least one piece of art every day. So I was like, yep, you're gonna do this today. You're gonna take all three of the last photos today. So the first photo I wanted to recreate was Venus Verticordia by Dante Gabriel Rossetti, and yeah, this is another Rossetti. I really love Rossetti, okay? This one and the next painting were very hard for me to take. I was gonna take advantage of the beautiful garden my landlord owns. Now in the quarantines, he's always outside planting stuff, and I didn't wanna be around taking my weird ass photos, and I was pretty stressed about it. Tried to take the photos fast, so I did not film the process. I'm sorry. So yeah, I took this pen with the feather and pumpkin because come on, at least now it looks more like my style. So I'm actually wearing this shirt. I wasn't gonna go out naked in my neighbor's garden because that would feel wrong, so I had to like edit out a bit of the clothing to make it look like I'm naked. So I'm just putting some flowers randomly here so that it looks like I'm hiding my nudity, which I'm not. I was fully clothed. I don't want my landlord to kick me out, especially in these times. So yeah, I chose to be clothed. So after I had like a posture that looked semi-decent, I tried to recreate the colors. Again, it has like orangey, peachy colors, more of like those fake ass filters that you find on Instagram. But since it's classical painting recreation, we're allowed to do that. So yeah, this was the painting I went back and forth for like 2 days after that, so I edited a lot. I decided to edit in this off gold thingy she has on her hair. This way it looked more similar to me, I don't know, because I was pretty stressed, and again I was taking my own photos because this did not give me a lot of time to pose, and also I was afraid my neighbors were watching me doing all these weird ass poses because I was literally posing while squatting. I was squatting in the mud trying to take these photos. So yeah, the next painting is In the Grass by Arthur Hughes.
Arthur Hughes.
By Arthur Hughes. This beautiful painting of a girl laying in the grass and imagining all the places she wants to travel to after this fucking quarantine is over. So the fun thing about this is that I took pillowcases and wrapped them around my arms like this to make them look like classic white sleeves, and I think it worked just fine. So here is me in the garden. I managed to take a bit of the footage but yeah, again I was pretty shy to like film the whole process. I'm really regretting that I didn't film it because it was very fun watching me being very stressed and anxious about it, but hey, the result came out pretty decent, as you can see. The only thing I had to change was a bit of the colors in the background and the tilt of the photograph so that it looks like I'm lying on the grass where I'm not, because that would be very hard to take. I don't have a tripod like this that goes all the way up, so I think it looks like I'm laying on the grass. And then I tried to make my face look like hers, because even though the posture was okay, the clothes were okay, my face was not that similar to hers, and I tried to make my eyebrows look similar, but it didn't work out that much. So yeah, then I'm trying to put a little bit of blush on my face because I am pale like a corpse. And yeah, I think that's pretty okay. I think this and I think this one and the one with Daphne are my favorite ones so far. This is the side-to-side comparison. So my landlord is in the garden again with her dog, and I think she's She's watching me do this and it looks weird, but oh well. So yeah, then we had the final painting. This painting I found myself through Instagram because I was mesmerized by the face of the woman in it. I don't know the name of this painting. If you do, leave a comment below telling me. I know that it's by Vladislav Theodore Benda. The good thing about working with a lot of Polish people is that now I know how to pronounce Polish names. See? As you can see, the woman in this picture is so beautiful. Our faces are so freaking different that this... I really didn't want to upload this because it looks so hideous, but I want to prove to you guys that it's happening a lot while making stuff. Sometimes you have something that turns out to be pretty successful and on spot, and sometimes you have something that's mediocre. And then sometimes, like this one, you have something that's complete shit. So again, I just painted my face and took two camellia flowers I found in the garden. And this was an indoor photo, so that was good, because I was pretty like emotionally exhausted from taking all these pictures outside. So yeah, the hard part with that was figuring out her expression and her posture while holding the camellia flowers on my head. And as you can see, my face is not like hers at all. Like, my cheeks are chubbier, my eyebrows are winged. I even layered her picture so I could recreate the shadows at least. I could not make it as dim and atmospheric as the painting. And yeah, this was the best I could get. Like, you can see them side by side, but yeah, it wasn't that good, okay? So my favorite ones out of these was Daphne's hand and her lying in the grass. It was really fun making this, actually. I had a lot of fun, although I did not stick to my initial schedule. Although it's not that bad to do so. This is what I learned through all this thing, that sometimes it's okay to feel bored and just do nothing all day. It's fine, it's human, you know. But I really enjoyed this, so I think I'm gonna create a series on my channel where I recreate paintings. Maybe I'm gonna do it like artist by artist. You're free to leave any suggestions you want, either of paintings or painters. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!